Go as deep as you want. This is your interview. This is your thing. I think it's therapeutic. You know, we talked about a little bit of the rough and ready outdoors when you didn't go finish that interview, and how important I think it is. And like I said,
we talked, and we're gonna do a closeout video. I just want to get my bottom choppers in first.
Right.
But I'm here doing this one without them, so well.
Yeah. So I'm happy. You're my first guest on Oklahoma Echoes, dude. Known you forever. Shane Nuttle. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from, Shane, and give us a little bit of your story.
I was born and raised in Pawnee, Oklahoma, to raised on a farm, you know, working cattle, working ground. But whenever I was in, from like the time I was 5 till say 17 or 18, my parents had a very popular watermelon patch and pumpkin patch. And the pumpkin patch, everybody seems to know about it or remember, but graduated high school, kind of bounced around, you know, welders helper here and there till 2004. I decided to join the Army, and I went to basic. I was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The 4th Brigade Combat Team, which was designated as the 506th, was standing up whenever I got there, and I was put with 3rd Platoon Delta Company, 2nd Battalion of the 506th. We deployed in end of October, 1st November in 2005, January 28th of 2006. Well, we were deployed to Baghdad, Iraq. And from what I don't remember, but from what I've been told by several people, that was probably one of the worst times you wanted to be deployed to Iraq. January 28, 2006, our truck was hit by ID, and I was medevac out of the country with a broken top jaw, a lacerated spleen, and a severe traumatic brain injury.
So, going back a little bit to, you know, you graduate high school from Pawnee, and then you go right to the regular Army, or did you wait a couple years, or what happened?
I graduated in 2001. I joined in end of 03, early of 2004.
So you didn't join right out of high school?
No, I didn't join right out of high school. I kind of jumped around from job to job, seeing there was something I wanted to do where I could make decent money, but ended up eventually going to the military.
Why? What made you go?
Just
right, it's after 9/11,
yeah.
Right, 01, and so was you getting pulled from that, or was it just...
I mean, you know, there's always, you know, people like down home people who actually care, you know, they so I didn't want to go in there, I was going to go in there and get revenge on everybody, you know, nothing like that, but I felt I had a duty to serve my country, yes.
Right, and so you graduate, get a job, do some stuff, and realize you want to go 101st, go regular Army, right? Didn't know, and did you pick the 101st, or did they pick you?
Well, you know how it is in basic, you get your wish list, top 3 or whatever, and the 101st was on mine, and I got chosen because they were setting up a new brigade. Right,
and so you join right in, it's 04.
04.
Go to basic training at Benning.
Benning, yep.
What was that like? What was that like in 04?
I mean, there weren't no stretch codes, there wasn't no breaks, nothing like that. It was the end of the traditional Army basic training, I guess. I mean, there wasn't, nobody put hands on you, not like that, unless it was in that type of situation. But, I mean, yeah, it was, at first, yeah, it was scary as hell. But once you kind of get into the routine, then, you know, they break you down. Like, you know, that's what basic set up to do, is to break somebody down and rebuild them. Whenever they were rebuilding, I mean, as long as you took everything and soaked it up like a sponge, it was fun.
Right, and so you get out of there, you go to Campbell, and how quick before you deployed to Iraq, right?
Iraq, yes. I got to Campbell, let's see, it was August of 04, so it was about a year and a half. I was at Campbell in garrison before we deployed.
So you're a Delta guy.
Delta guy,
so
yes,
heavy
Light anti-armor infantry, yes.
right? Light, heavy weapons,
Yep.
right? And so again, you were gunner in Iraq.
I was on the on the 50 on the Mardus.
Where was you stationed?
We were at
In
Fob
Iraq.
Falcon in Iraq, basically right in Baghdad.
Okay, how far outside the green zone were you?
Roughly an hour, I think, if my memory serves correctly. Which here lately I like to fact check, but I'm going to say about an hour outside the green zone.
Outside the green zone and Fob Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how long was your deployment when you go in? So obviously I'm National Guard, right? So we do our MOBs. We're gone like 15, 16 months, right?
Yes.
So you guys are, war ready right off the bat. Y'all jump straight in. Do you have any train ups? Do you go anywhere before that? Or y'all doing it at Campbell?
I mean, of course, we had our turn-ups and our FTA, our field training exercises and everything that we do at Campbell on a regular basis. And then, of course, everybody before we went into Fort Polk, Louisiana for GRTC.
What a shithole.
Oh, horrible. Horrible.
We were doing a mission once at Campbell or at Polk. It's 2, 3 in the morning, right? We just called out a QRF, and I'm dozing off, and freaking night vision every now and then, and my driver slams on the brakes and screams, and I'm half asleep, man. It's the pack of wild horses that run out there. Have you seen those there?
Yep.
Right, scared the living daylights out of me, man. He screams, I freak out, hold my nods up. Thought we were under attack, right? But it was a bunch of wild horses down at Fort Polk. So done our JRTC there too. So it's interesting to see how we kind of get combat and mission ready, if you will, get checked off by the big army and the FAGs, right? First Army Group. Did you guys have to deal with them at all? Y'all don't have MOB sites, y'all.
No.
So you just get JRTC.
And then we're out.
Any NTC stuff or?
Ooh, I'm
yeah.
not sure about it. I think so, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, there's always kind of different deals, and so your total service, right? You join straight out. Who's at home waiting on you then? Right? Which brothers, sisters?
my
dad,
mom,
yeah.
dad, and my brother and both my sisters. And yeah, that's about it.
Right, and so they're back home, right? You're gone to Afghanistan or Iraq.
Iraq, yeah.
How long are you in country when you get hit?
And this is I don't know if two is a lucky number or a horrible number for me, but I was in the country 2 months to the day before I got hit.
2 months, and so you guys were running. What was your mission?
Everything. I mean,
Full spectrum ops.
We did patrols. We helped with other groups if they needed help. We helped. A lot of it was QRF. Whenever you're not on patrol, you get your downtime. You never have downtime, and you know that. But yeah, and that was I can't remember. No, I mean we were just running up and down the road basically.
So you just running missions?
Yeah.
No. Did you get any high value targets? Were you doing on raids? Was you clearing houses?
I remember going on a couple of raids. We cleared quite a few houses, or we helped Charlie Company clear. No, Bravo Company cleared quite a few houses. But and with me, the time in country, I don't remember a whole lot. I can't really remember on command. Every now and again, I'll get like bits and pieces that I remember. Just because something I see or I do throughout the day, I'm just like, what the heck?
Right.
So that's kind of the what I mean. It's downside, but it's not having the brain injury. I don't remember a lot.
Were you on Humvees?
Yes, we were in Humvees.
So did you have rhinos at the time, right? So the EFPs was a problem. The rhinos.
Yeah.
Did you have rhinos and EFP? What was your biggest threat in Iraq in y'all's AO there?
I mean, anything from mortar to IDs. Yeah. We didn't have a whole lot of like ambush around like that I can recall.
Right. What gun were you on?
I was on the field caliber machine
Had the 50?
gun. Yes, the
That's where you
Mardus.
got headspace and timing all
Always.
jacked up. Yeah. So again, we didn't use our 50s much. They get jammed up a lot. The 240 became a lot, but
Well, I mean,
50s are nice. There's no doubt that firepower is Crucial.
Yeah, and that, I mean, you mentioned you just got done, but when we were over there, that was every day out of patrol, every day. You clean that son of a gun every day. And then you don't wipe down and double check it before you put on the shirt to go out on your next patrol.
Now they don't even do headspace and timing, right? It's just
Yeah,
the barrel's already preset and it runs. What do gunners do now, right? You don't check headspace and timing, but
make sure the thumb's in shape.
right. So let's get to the day, right? So let's talk me through your truck. What's your setup? What's your TC? What do we got going on there?
Okay, our driver, he was from Abilene, Texas. Sergeant was a TC. He was from Oceanside, California. And I'm on the gun, and of course, we got the little 2-inch, might have been 3-inch, gunner's seat, which gets very uncomfortable after 12 hours. But and we were lead chart. We knew in the convoy we'd have the turret on our back, but and I get, from what I understand, that everybody over there in the company, everything, they're like, if somebody gets hit, it's gonna be third. Because, I mean, we were cowboys, we wanted to get stuff done. So
did you guys have gunner harnesses at the time?
No, we just had the gunner seat. We did not have the harnesses.
So they come out
That
with
was
gunner
implemented
harnesses
after yes.
All right, so Sergeant, your TC
Yeah,
was from California.
yes.
And so your truck gets hit on, do you remember what route you were on?
It was either Irish or Red Wings, I think. We were out of our AO for one, and we shouldn't even have been where we were. But our lieutenant, he was. We found a couple guys, they had bombers do everything on their hands, and he wanted to go search whatever. They'd take us way away from our area of operation, and I want to say it was right. We were right on the Tigers River, and I'm not sure which right, if that was Irish or Red Wings. That went right by the Tigers River. At least I think it was Tigers. But anyway, we got out of the Mulholland, and one lane in, one lane out. And we knew something was up because when we were coming out, almost everybody in that Mulholland, the little neighborhoods there, almost everybody in there, they were outside filming on their cell phone.
They were on their cell phone?
They were filming, yes.
So how many trucks are in the convoy?
At this time, 3. We had a 50 Mark and 50.
Right, so there's 3 trucks in the convoy. You're going out to check an area that a lieutenant thought, a weapons cache, right, had guys with, gunpowder
Yes.
trace on their hands.
Yeah,
and so you
gunpowder
guys are going to go
yep.
try a cache, right? And so you guys are going to this, or you're on your way back?
We got hit on our way back, on our way out on the 1-lane bridge.
What in order were you?
I was 1.
You was lead truck?
Yes.
Okay, so talk me through that.
The first bomb, I think the first ID went off between the 2nd and 3rd truck. And then, we do all our technical, basically just floating it out of there. Because the first ID went off, it was right in between it didn't, the trucks, they got rocked, but they weren't damaged anyway, so they could still continue movement. So we go to getting out of there, and then second one, just bam, right underneath the TC seat, which would be the passenger side of the vehicle, and from there, I don't know.
So there was a second IED that hit, and it hit right under the TC seat.
Yes.
And that was your TC. Did he pass?
Yes.
So talk me through how many people in your vehicle passed away.
Just 1.
How many people in your vehicle were killed in action?
1.
You had 1.
Yes.
What, say his name again?
Sergeant Herrera.
Sergeant Herrera. And so Sergeant Herrera gets hit. What happened to you, right? No gunner harness, second IED.
And this, I've gotten two of the different stories. I've heard I was ejected from the vehicle. But the common one is that basically the Humvee went about 10 feet in the air. And y'all think this is a combat loaded Humvee. It's weighing about 13,000, 14,000 pounds, right? So it went about 8, 10 feet in there and flipped over basically. And my head was in between the ground and some part of the I'm gonna say the rear, the middle rear of the truck, or the gunner shield is basically what saved my life.
So you're upside down completely.
From my knowledge,
From what
yes.
you know. And so when you first got back, right, the word was that you'd got launched out, right, and then landed on your head.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you find out that wasn't accurate?
Well, and again, because the people who tell me each, you know, they're all there. They're all in my platoon. So I typically tend to lean towards what the mate said, which is basically the Humvee landing on my head, because he was the one who had to get me out and all that good stuff. But
So the driver lives.
yes,
Sergeant Herrera is killed
yes,
in the spot. You are medevaced out,
yes.
and you're flown to. Where'd you go from there? Do you know what was after that?
Well, I mean, they had to do some stuff in Baghdad. I'm not sure how long I was in Baghdad after I got, evacuated out of the actual area we were at, the firefight, the ambush, whatever. I went, to a place in Prairie Green Zone, so they get me stabilized and make sure I was good to go to Landstill. I went to Landstill and I was there for a day or two. That restabilized me, make sure everything was still good to go, get me ready for the rest of the fight to Walter Reed.
Wow, right. So you're obviously you don't remember any of this.
No.
Right. Were you in a coma at that point, unconscious? What was your state there?
And I'm not sure if this is kind of like the actual ambush and stuff. I was told that I was in the coma, but I just don't know if it was induced or if it happened naturally. I don't know if the accident put me into a coma, or they induced me into a coma for, to get me stabilized and everything to get home.
Maybe stabilize you for brain swelling or whatever.
Yes.
And so you get flown out, right? And so then you get flown to Germany and Walter Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And how long you were there?
I was at Walter Reed maybe, and again, I have all the paperwork, that shows dates and everything, but I couldn't round it up before this, but because I don't know when my mom hit it, but I was in Walter Reed roughly 3.5 months, and then from there I went to the at that time there was only 2 polytrauma VA hospitals at that time, where they could actually treat head injury. One was in Jacksonville, Florida, and the other one was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I went to Minnesota.
Okay, so you went to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in a coma in Germany, right? Whether it's induced or from the explosion,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know,
No.
right? So who flew out there? Your mom flies out there?
To Germany, nobody.
So
from
nobody
Germany.
flies out?
But my mom was definitely, she came to a Walter Reed. And being that, we had our farm and cattle, and then my brothers and sisters, they had their farming and cattle, they worked it out where one person or one family would stay back and take care of the other's cattle and, duties and everything while the rest could come visit.
In Minnesota.
Yeah, in Minnesota and Walter Reed, I believe.
Okay,
I'm not sure about, but I know Minnesota, yes.
right. So you're up there, come back to Pawnee,
Mm-hmm.
right? We had a big parade for you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Shouldn't have, but it's
Had
so
a big parade, right? Still a hero, man. Like I said, so total service, right? You're 2 years in, 2.5, 3 years before you get blown up.
I think it was like 2 years and 10 months, something total service, and that's including, the depth, the lead entry, and all that good stuff. But yeah.
Right. So you come back, physical therapy, brutal. Right. I
Oh.
remember first talking to you, couldn't even understand what you're doing. Major PTSD. Obviously, a very severe
yes.
traumatic brain injury. Got metal in your face.
Yes.
Blew your teeth out.
Yes.
Right. So, broken back. Was there any paralysis? Was you paralyzed at all?
Not that I know of. No, I did have to, kind of take it slow and relearn how to walk and all that good stuff. They didn't want me credit falling and having another head injury. But, yeah, I mean, all that came about, I'm going to say it came about naturally, but I did work very, I was dedicated to being able to walk on my own again. I'll say that.
How long was that process? Still working on it.
It's still not 100%. So I mean, I still, and with the guys are going to the total health and still work. That was what 6 years of that with physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, something like that. I think it was 5 or 6 years total. But again, I mean. The way they explained to me is, at that time I kind of plateaued out.
So hold on, say that again.
At that time, whenever they said that, whenever I was done with the therapy, after 5 or 6 years, they said I had kind of plateaued out, where.
Plateaued out.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any better. So.
Well, I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be as fast as I had been, or as much as I had, in those 6 years. But again, I feel like even whenever I left total health, I was still, somewhat wobbly. Balance is still an issue for me to this day. And, yeah. Of course, my speech, that's always going to be the way it is. There's not a whole lot I can do to change that. The only thing I can do for that is remind myself to slow down when I speak and try not to yell, because the volume of my voice is still very hard to control, and just try to enunciate.
You've been my friend a long time, and so the one thing that I can tell you is, you're inspirational, right? You really are an inspiration to a lot of people, that what you've went through, right? You get back, your mom passes away, your dad passes away, having trouble with girlfriends in and out, nobody really understanding you. It's hard to be around people. You snore, you're annoying, right?
I'm loud, you're loud.
You're screaming, right? And so quality of life matters, man.
Oh, yes.
And I'm proud of you. I truly am proud of you, Shane, of what you've accomplished and how far you came. Just driving again.
I appreciate that.
You're driving. I don't know how you've done it, right? So we got 22 a day in suicide. And again, you start talking about the issues of traumatic brain injuries and how we're learning so much more about them, and how that the real science is out there that, I talk about this in my book, that's the VA just gives us a disability rating and pills and says, good luck.
Yep.
So I want to get into that and roll into the next episode of the rehabilitation part of it. So I've watched you, I've seen you. Get your burp out if you need to get it out.
I'm good.
I've watched you, I've seen you. I've seen you go through several different medications. I've seen your speech pattern go up, down. I've seen your stress, your anxiety, your PTSD rise, fall. I've seen it all. And we've talked through it all. And so obviously we both agree on one thing, that once you get into the services of the VA, the veteran affairs and the hospitals and things, that it's not that bad. The service is pretty good. Getting in's a little of a problem, and they always have their problems, but I want to talk a little bit about how they've changed that, and how obviously we've seen, you've done some brain map wave stuff. We're doing the hyperbaric chamber, and so we're going to try and do some other things besides just medication. So I want to talk to you about, has the VA tried anything else besides just medication and physical therapy?
They haven't brought anything to my attention, other than, pills or therapy or whatever. Now, there was I did do a program, it would have been last November. No, November. November before that, it was I think it was November 23. TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, or
Electron ETMS.
it wasn't ET. That's not that. I believe they call it TMS. I might be wrong, but that was 10 weeks of the therapy or the procedure. First time I went in, I went in there. They set me in the chair, and they basically it was like a swimmer's cap, but cloth. They put it on my head, got all tight, and then they made marks where this and that, and whatever. And then I had a commercial where they could put the magnetic stimulation part of it, and I tried that for about 10 weeks, and it seemed to help. But the thing with that is, living an hour and 15 minutes away from the VA, you could be there at 7. They open at 7 a.m. They get started at 7 a.m. First come, first serve. I do 5 sessions a week. I could do 2 sessions in one day, but that would be like 4 hours apart. So I would go, I'd get up 4:30, 5 o'clock, wherever leave, get over there, do the first session, go kill time or whatever in Tulsa, for a few hours, and then go back and do the other session, and then go back home and do it all again, the next day, but like I said, with that being an hour and a half away, and me being up early and a lot of stuff coming home, I would be exhausted by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd end up taking a nap, and that would it would almost screw my whole soup shit up again.
Right. So that's all out of pocket. Who paid for it?
No. I mean, the VA, they paid for travel, and it was done at the Ernest Childers outpatient facility there on 91st and Bingo in Tulsa.
Okay.
Now, before that, my sister had heard about, it's called neurofeedback, and that's where they, I went in for the consult. We paid, this was out of pocket. It was on like 91st and Memorial. And when that done the consult, and I went back and had the whole brain map, had to wear all the headgear and wiring and everything. After they got a baseline of how my brain waves were working, I would sit there and I'd watch movies. Like an hour movie or TV show, whatever, they had. And they wanted me to sample different types of movies, like comedy, horror, military and war movies, to see how, if a different type of movie would stimulate different parts of my brain. And I've done that for, I think each session is about 3 months, 2 or 3 months. I've done that twice, but the fuel, the service, that was all out of pocket, and that wasn't cheap.
So that's, kind of going back into the new science and kind of my new mission, and with Oklahoma Echoes and Red Dirt Veteran Stories and the whole push for, the resources that are out there, the technology that's coming, and all the different brain map reading, and there's stuff you can take home now. I did one the other day that you're talking about. They put the deal on. They track your brain, take 5 minutes. I did my consult the other day. She tells me, basically, here's the traumatic brain injury. Here's where you're having trouble shifting gears. You stay in this area. So, there's places you can go home now, and you can put this band on, and you can do impulses at home and try and fix your brain. And so that's where we're trying to run in a whole other deal. But again, it becomes money.
Yeah, very costly.
Right. And so when you start talking about veterans and mental health being a huge part, and obviously that's one of the big reasons I took this video podcast and created it a while back. The whole idea and concept was to solidify and preserve the Oklahoma Warrior story. And the second part is for the therapy of it, you
Yes.
know, and it's therapeutic to talk about it, right, and heal from it. And instead of just getting a rating and pills, let's start healing about it. Let's talk about it. Let's find medicine that actually cures it. That's why we're going to do the hyperbaric chamber and stuff that we talked about earlier. And so, what's next?
That is a million-dollar question. I mean, as of right now, I've got a few plans, but not really sure of how it's going to unfold or, you know, what's going to happen first. But my biggest thing is routine. I need to get it established a better routine daily, night routines, and just try and have a purpose.
Which is always a struggle, right? Getting up, being effective, and like I said, I commend you and what you've done and what you've came from and how far you've came. Graduated, got a college degree, right? Let's talk about your time in San Antonio. We forgot about that. Hey, let's talk about when that dick hit your foot. Can we talk about that one at all? That's a different one. All right. That's a rated R version. We can't do that. Sorry, little Ty. I was just kidding, Ty. That's a joke. It's an inside joke, but it's
You better.
right. So, go to San Antonio, UTSA, or was you somewhere else? Where was you at? Tell me about your time in San Antonio.
In January of 2013, and I'm gonna say fall of 2011 is when I released. Spring 2012. Let me get my story straight. Spring 2012. I started really my speech pathologist and my neuropsych doctor in Tulsa. They were really trying to recommend me, you know, school, you know, trade something. I'm like, you know what? I had a brain injury. Nobody ever thought I would graduate high school or graduate college even before the brain injury. I'm going to see what I can do. So I get in touch with the Wounded Warrior Project. They had a program at the time called TRACK. The TRACK program was based in Jacksonville, Florida, or Texas, and of course I'm going to go to Texas because it's closer, you know, to and from home, right? But they wanted me to go through a semester of school to see how I could handle, you know, the pressure and this and that. So on my own, with no help, no guidance, no structure, no routine, I went over to TCC South Campus or West Campus, the one there the one there close to Sand Springs. I went there and done a semester of that, passed my classes, all, you know, everything was copacetic. Done that with them, and then January, like 10th or 14th or whatever of 2019, I had to be living in San Antonio, ready to do this program, and the chart program is a year long in total, because you do 2 semesters at a junior college, which I done mine at Northwest. Well, we all done at Northwest Vista because they have the program and the structure and the financial, or not financial, but the guidance counselors. They all, you know, we knew that they had their own separate ones for veterans, and that was pretty cool, you know. But I done 2 semesters there, and I got my Associates of Arts, and I wanted to keep going, so I ended up getting accepted to UTSA, and originally I was going for a bachelor's in kinesiology, which whenever I got some of the higher level classes, you know, with aerodynamics, stuff like that, even with tutors and everything, I couldn't quite comprehend exactly what they were trying to teach, so I changed my degree to multidisciplinary studies. and got a bachelor's degree in that.
Graduated what year?
2019.
Nice, big accomplishment, right? I remember that. Another thing, just again, just commending on what obstacles you've overcame of the concentration and the TBI itself. You've always been kind of retarded, but it really made it worse.
I mean,
right? So
it didn't happen,
right?
So
graduate,
yes.
come up here, you're struggling because you're trying to figure out what you're going to use your degree for.
Yes, and around here there's not a whole lot. Around Pawnee, Stillwater, not so much. But now if I was, to go somewhere like Oklahoma City or Tulsa or back to San Antonio even, I probably could have gotten something. But of course, life happens, stuff happens. So I'm still around. I'm still around Pawnee for right now. Yeah.
So you're looking for, again, we start talking about structure. You just moved in your dad's house,
Yes.
right? So you're farming, trying to figure out. Tell me the daily struggles of quality of life matters. It really does. And so when we start talking about, tell me somebody that's in your position, somebody that's been through what you've been through and the extent of the traumatic brain injury, and you got buddies like me that shock you with electric fences and make your face, the metal in your face twitch for 2 hours. But what would you do without friends like me? But tell me a little bit about with sleep patterns or where we struggle and how where are we falling short, and what do we need to focus on with if we're Shane Nuttle? What's the next step for quality of life and living, taking a step up?
For me, honestly, my biggest struggle is some days I don't have much of a struggle. I know I got this I need to get done, I got that I need to get done. I get it done, and it's a good day, right? And there's some days my struggle is to get out of my damn recliner. Because there's some days I just feel like I can't. People did it, you know what I mean? And it's not that I had to be around people or nothing like that, but because I don't have a 8-to-5 job or nothing, I don't have to be around people, and this all comes back again to what I think is a routine. If I had something to do or to look forward to every day, it'd be a better day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and so we start talking about that with structure, being productive. I know you've heard me talk about mowing a lawn and don't need mowed, right? There's no man that wants to mow a lawn that you can't see where you mow, right? And so that production is something it's entwined in us. And so getting up, you go back to Admiral McRaven's get up, make your bed, right? You accomplish something first for the day. And so we're talking baby steps,
Yeah.
right? And so when you start talking about, the level of what you've, again, it's just so amazing to me what you've gone through, and I've even told you, right? I don't know if I'm not near as strong as you in that sense. I think I would have already, done several other things,
No.
And so when you start talking about that, I'm really proud of you and what you've done. And so when we start looking at different ways that we're going to fix things and help your mind, and so that's the weird things about the TBIs that people don't understand. It becomes the science behind it's real now. It's not medication. So if you forget your medications, which goes back to, right? So what's the side effects for the medication, right? It's all the bad things you want to stay away from.
Yes.
And so,
how many
medications have they tried to put you on to help your, emotions?
Ooh. Throughout the almost 20 years, I'm gonna say close to 60 different medications. and that's nothing, like if they start you on a medication and you're on it for say 90 days and you don't feel it's doing anything, you don't feel it's helping, they'll say, okay, they'll yank that one and then they'll try something else. I don't think they do a lot of proper, what would be weaning off of, you know what I mean, of certain medications. I don't think that, they've never done that with me.
There's no follow-up.
No.
It's basically, here's your 90-day supply or 30-day supply. You know, if something happens, call us.
Yeah.
And so,
And if it's, you know, after such time you gotta go to the ER, and that's it, you know, that's an hour and a half or 2 hours away. You know, it's either in Oklahoma City or Muskogee.
right.
And, but,
Well, let's hear a fun story. Give me a training story, military, right? So train ups overseas. What's a story that you may not want to tell, but you really want to tell?
I don't want to, but I'm going to. You know, your last, what, week, 2 weeks of basic at Sand Hill, you go out on the FTX. You know, they're running and you don't have, you're tired. It's horrible. It's miserable. Well, you know, you're doing a march or whatever, and they have, you know, ambushes, all that stuff. Just fun shit, right? Well, I think it was our last day or second to last day before we were finished, whatever, with the FTAs. We're basic, pretty much. Well, can't remember what patrol we're on, but we get ambushed, blah, blah. You know, it's just a full-on shit show. I think I was running. A bear jumped over this log. I didn't see the log because something caught my attention, so I looked to see what it was. Didn't see the log, so I tripped over the log. M4, you know, up, or M16. And my lovely cane handle chipped one of my front teeth.
And so now you got an all new grill.
Yeah.
And
pretty much.
You got the whole new grill going, and you already had a chip in it from the FTX when you're coming out.
No, this was before I.
Yeah,
know,
basic.
Yeah, this is basic. This is before I had to get a new grill.
Right.
So yeah, chipped that, and then I didn't fix it for like probably 8-10 months. I just left it.
No chip.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about your reunions, right? I know every year you go to Campbell.
No.
You go.
Hasn't been a while, but yeah.
And so you go to Campbell and have kind of a reunion, and Sergeant Herrera and his wife, kids. Do you stay in contact with them? How do you handle a situation like this? Is your TC, right? This is your sergeant. This is your dude, right? So how long were y'all together? And do you talk to his wife and stuff, anything? Or if they're watching, right, what would you say to them? Tell them a little bit about Sergeant Herrera.
I mean, like I say, he's one of the best men I've ever known in my entire life. I'm not in contact with him. I mean, Facebook, you know, I see updates, this and that, but that's about it. Sergeant, if he hadn't been killed, he would have been the next sergeant major of the Army. And everybody who knew him said that. He was the type of guy that whenever you were working, you had a mission, whatever. You had something to get done, it got done. And it got done fast and effectively. So, I want something you let down. But, down. Go. He being so. But,
He's sensing you too. That's what they're for.
yeah, I know.
He's sensing your stress.
I know. But, he was the type of guy, tough as nails, the meanest motherfucker you ever met. But in the blink of an eye, you smoking and joking, you know, laughing, having a good old time. He was one of a kind. He really was.
Still never seemed fair, right? You know,
No.
why would God spare you and a guy that's got a wife and kids? You know, what's the guilt? The survival guilt?
Yeah, that's the real thing. I mean, but yeah,
I know we've taken a little break, and I know you want to, you know, you don't have to, but obviously if you thought about something, I'm going to kind of replug that again. You know, when I say it's just not fair, right? And so that's what, well, I'll start there. And so if you want to talk about, again, put your thoughts together a little bit about Sergeant
yeah,
Herrera.
yeah.
But again, you don't have to. Like I said, it's going to be fine. I know it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And so,
It's a lot.
so just get your mind right about that, and then we'll close out. And so again, you don't have to say anything to his wife and 2 children or 1.
2.
And so, you know, you don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. I know. But anyways, you ready?
Yeah.
And then we'll close it out, and then thank you, and then we'll see what we got. So.
All right. That's all we can do.
All right. So, you know, life just don't seem fair. You know, why survivor guilt, right? Why did Sergeant Herrera have to go and not you, a man that's got a wife and children? You don't have anything, right?
No, I was single, no kids, no nothing. But I mean, one thing that has really helped bring me some closure with that is growing up, my family, my parents, they were very religious, you know, Christian, go to church Wednesday, Sundays. But they put it to me like everything happens for a reason. I mean, that still, you know, makes you question, well, what was that reasoning, you know what I mean? But he didn't suffer, he's in a better place. I wish he could have seen, you know, everything a father wants to see, but everything happens for a reason. I just include his family and in my prayers.
Well, one thing I like to do on the show, talk about some nonprofits, 501Cs, right? So, veteran hunts. What's the best veteran hunt out there?
Behind the Wire Foundation.
So we got Behind the Wire in Veneta, right? Rusty and Sherry Cornwell. What's going on at Behind the Wire Foundation?
I mean, I don't know a whole lot, but I know they have a big get together every September. We'll go over the dove hunt, and they'll rev off some of their exotic animal hunts, and they give away prize. It's just.
You shot an elk there.
I did. I got, yes. That was an amazing experience.
And Chase and Rough and Ready Outdoors.
They came and videoed it, and yeah, I was shaking like a madman. And I have yet to do the closeout video for that, which I'm trying to rectify right now. But it's just an awesome experience. Whether you get a hunt or you win something, just the camaraderie of it, it's hard to beat. It really is.
Yeah, so if you didn't get that, Behind the Wire, it's a 501c3, a nonprofit that runs veteran hunts, probably one of the biggest veteran hunts in the state. As Shane said, it's a dove hunt, and then you get exotics. On top of that, with Rusty and Sherry, have their high fence area. And so, again, shooting skeet, it's a good time. Tons of brothers and sisters out there.
Yes.
Best hunt in the state. Check them out, right? If you want to donate, guys, I'm telling you, that's a good place to donate to a nonprofit for veterans that really cares about veterans. And so, Shane, I appreciate you coming, man. You're the first one, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I wouldn't either. I appreciate the honor.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Love you, dude.
Love you too, brother.